Welcome everyone to another session of the Mastermind Book Club. In tonight's review / summary, Charles Comer will give a brief introduction into this book. Charles, go ahead.
The book Thinking Clearly by Rolf Dobelli. Many of us have many different intoxicating ideas, and we have too many choices, which can lead to confused thinking. One thing that confuses me sometimes, not technically, but when I go into the ice cream parlor, there are so many different flavors. I love the vanilla, I love the chocolate, I love the strawberry, I love the praline and cream. I could go on and on. I even know women who will personally have in their closet brand new shoes that they never wore, one for an outfit that they never worn. And these are just choices that we have made, but we're not thinking clearly to have all of this stuff and clutter. Now, looking back on our decisions, or looking back even on my decisions when I bought many different vehicles on finance via credit. I bought vehicle after vehicle. So these cars averaged anywhere between $25,000 and $40,000. If you think of all the money that I spent every 5 to 6 years, it's $30,000 to $40,000. Think of all the years of my life, being over 50, that I've spent buying cars. So I had to learn, just looking back 10 years, if you can look back 10 years and just reevaluate what you've done the last 10 years, you can come back and look to your future and make different decisions. And that's what I got out of the book, Thinking Clearly. To come back, look at your future, and make different ideas, make different decisions. Thank you.
Go back, look at your past so that your future can be brighter is a good message in reference to thinking clearly. Thank you very much, Charles. Reggie Hilliard.
Good evening, everyone. Reggie Hilliard from the Mastermind Book Club. There's an assault on your thoughts. There's a war on your thoughts. There's all kind of propaganda and agendas and all types of things going on where, if you're not aware, and most of us probably aren't, where our thoughts are being shaped and colored by all of these different things that are going on around us. Like I said, the agendas and the propaganda and so on and so forth. Someone's basically trying to take control of your mind. And if you're not in control of your mind, which is very possible we're not, because it is often very tricky to be in control of these things when you have a barrage of so many different messages that are permeating your space, and permeating your head. So if you're not clear of that, then what happens is you start to think all types of different ways. You got all kind of messages that are coming at you, and it's affecting what you're purchasing, what you're doing each and every day. What you're eating, how you're thinking. All of these different things are happening. So the goal here would be to get more in control of what it is that you're thinking about. Understand where those thoughts are coming from. Understand who's trying to take control of your mind, and then make it your point to basically get back control so that you have a better chance of affecting your life in a way that you can, that makes it a good life, or makes it such that you're doing things that make sense for you to do, versus to actually be influenced in a way where it's actually affecting you in a way where it's adverse to you. So that's what I'll say.
Thank you, Reg. Thinking Clearly, The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf Dobelli. There are a few things that come to mind from this book that really stand out. Number one is that at times we think, for example, in reference to God, when we think about God, we think about what he or she or it is. But we don't take a moment to think about what he, she, or it is not. And that makes a big difference. And what is a comparison to that? When Michelangelo made the David picture in the Sistine Chapel, the Pope of the time asked him, "How did you know that this is David?" Michelangelo just gave him a simple answer and said, "Well, I just thought about all that David is not." How many of us think this way? Very few of us. Very, very few of us. Think about the opposite of what you're thinking, and that might get you to clearer intentions. Number two is a lot of us want to be able to make money on investments in business and real estate and so on. Did you know that a lot of it depends on luck? No matter who it is that makes it to be successful, they rely on a certain percent of luck, and you hear it amongst a lot of these successful people. But we neglect that. We think, oh, they've got to be doing something. It takes some luck, and you've just got to do it and hope for the best, expect the best, and be willing to bear whatever outcome is out there. And lastly, what I want to leave you with is something that's happening right now in our times. All these bank foreclosures and bank bankruptcies, sorry, that banks are going down. They're unable to keep up with their debt. Well, who is the government blaming? The government's blaming the heads of the banks. Well, Rolf Dobelli says that it's more than just the head of the bank. There are many other people involved in these decisions, and they all have to take a part in the blame. But the system is made in such a way that they just look for a scapegoat. Remember, there's much more to blame than just the person who is let go. This is the Mastermind Book Club. Another very important, empowering book, The Art of Thinking Clearly. Take care until next week, where we'll review another session in another book.